What is up, everybody? Here, shout out to the people who came in apparently at 9 a.m. because I guess that's when I scheduled it. Oops. Oh well. I don't think anyone was here all day. There was definitely no comments whatsoever left on the thing, so which is also heartbreaking too, because since we're only like 6 subs away from like 1,000 in here, I think.
You're just doing a test to make sure people are paying attention.
Well, people don't like tests. You didn't ask consent for it because and then they have to go to their safe zones, you know. But let's see here. What are we actually at? We actually are now 5 subs away. Cool. Yesterday when I said that, oh yeah, we're only like 5 subs away. Somebody ended the unsubbing, and I don't know if it was just happened to be what YouTube someone is, because we get that all the time. We get people they'll sub and then they'll unsub. I don't understand it. Some if it was someone in there that likes the channel, was just being a troll. Okay, cool. That's it's great. But I don't know. It's like it's weird how that works. I don't know if it's YouTube unsubbing people or people just deleting their accounts, or maybe both. But anyway, so yeah, I got some back issues. I mean, I have a lot of back issues. All depends on how long you guys want to be here. But I do have some newer back issues. So we'll get that going. Hello to Marania. I suppose I should share this out to the Twitter group so people know that we're actually live. Yeah. Today's topic in news. Jimmy Palmiotti saying, "Oh my gosh, Trump screwed us over with the tariffs. Now the prices are going to go up." Because he's being harsh on China, where I guess BCW gets their bags from and their boards possibly. But honestly, I'd rather support companies that do American made. As far as bagging and boarding, which I did find one online. I have to look more into it, but it's based out of Washington, and it looks like it might be right around the same price. But I don't know. Like at this point, it's like most people who are buying new comic books, there are not a lot of people that, so I don't think it'll really affect a lot of people. Now, if you're updating your bag and boarding stuff, your older books, I can see that, but then again, a lot of collectors that are up in age, they may have stopped. They may have not gone past 2000. They may have stopped right at the end of the 90s or mid 90s, because once you start changing things, a lot of people leave the hobby, and a lot of people were told to leave the hobby. But anyway,
but we had a very good news today as well.
You're getting more snow?
No.
What is your good news, sir?
Leo the 14th.
Oh, I said good news.
Yeah, that's like I said, that was good news.
And that's Chicago Mafia becoming a pope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make sure he'll get stuff done.
He won't. He's anti-Trumper.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. There's tweets about him talking, bad mouthing Trump.
Oh, really?
And he's pro open immigration.
Really? I'll have to check on that. I thought he was.
He's from Chicago. What do you think was going to be a good guy? No such thing. But who knows? Maybe he'll change his ways. But if that's what he decides to do, cool. More power.
Can't be any worse than the last guy. But
I mean, you say that, but Anyway, little 2 Jackson, what's up? Anybody else watching right now? We're live on Twitch and YouTube right now at the same time. But I guess we'll start showing off some books. That's what you guys came here for, not gossip. Green's really quiet. He must be watching sports. Hey, Breen? Breen?
I'm here.
You're just really quiet today. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What are you watching that you're so quiet?
I'm watching the Reds and checking X.
Ah. Oh. All right. Well, speaking of back issues, this is a couple weeks old, but I managed to get my order in for 111. So it's always lovely. Zombies. Zombie Kid. This is the original cover in the back. So,
Minus the color.
well,
Or did
no,
they have? Did they have colors on the cover?
yeah, it was only interior. That's what threw me. That's what I don't like about the original series. You know, when I went to go pick it up, I could have got number 1 and 2 and all that stuff, but I opened up. I said, first of all, this art was horrible. You know, and it was just like I didn't like it, you know, and it was on black and white. But
Yeah, but that artwork is so much better than this stuff that's coming out nowadays.
you know, isn't that ironic? Because like we were so like used to. I said I was so used to reading John Romita Senior's or not reading, but reading stories with John Romita Senior's art. We had Gene Colan. We had Gil Kane. We were spoiled, especially not because I started off going with Silver Age before I started going into modern stuff. You know, my modern comics I was reading was starting around 2003. It was right around there. I didn't read anything from the 90s. I skipped all that.
I was in bronze. I think I was in like the 80s. I think I was,
But yeah,
still had some really good stuff. But
yeah. I'm trying to see who did this cover though. I don't know if it says. Doesn't tell me which cover who did this cover is. But I don't know. I was happy to get in because I don't want to miss the issue. I want to have the whole collection. And I have a feeling that, you know, speculators are going to jack up prices for books that I don't have, especially the early books. All right. The other back issue I got in was Hextiles number 6. Finally got that in. So I was able to read this and check it out. It's been a good series so far. You know, it's but I said it's an acquired taste, you know. A lot of gore, a lot of violence, a lot of demons, a lot of misfit kids with demon powers just trying to, you know, escape their fates. That was done by their bastard of a father. Made a deal with hell. All right. Then I was going through. They had the free comic book day at the shop stuff there because I had missed it out because on Saturday because I had to do some family stuff. They had this Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. And I was just like, oh, this is a new ongoing series, but I guess it's just could be for the figurines they're launching. They're really launching the more of the model kits. So overall, though, it was fun. I'll show you. It's very cartoonish art, but man, it was fun to revisit that series I watched as a kid. So, we're being asked, how is Lady Coco Lumpington? When did you become a Lumpington?
That's as a fancier way of saying lump. Whatever was messing with her about a day and a half ago is past. She's fine.
She made one solid ball movement. Now she's better.
That might have been.
Maybe she had blockage and it's like, out.
I don't know. I said maybe she. That's it. She likes to eat stuff off the floor.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah, 20 years ago. Remind me how long ago that was. Yeah. But yeah, continue, Eric. Yeah. She's doing what now? She's on her couch.
No, she's fine. She's back to running around a little bit. I mean, she's doing what she does best right now, taking up space on the recliner. But
of course, that's what she's there for. She just tail goes like this.
Yeah, I mean, I got worried when she wasn't moving around.
Well, yeah, obviously, it's like when you've never had a cat before, and the cat suddenly stops doing what his cat does, and it just.
And I didn't expect to. I didn't expect to really give a shit, but I said she's
It's because you have a heart.
Well,
and you're not a serial killer.
I never dreamt I would get this attached to that lump of fur.
Yeah, I used to laugh at people and it's like, how do you when their dog would die and just they'd have a full funeral in their backyard and everything, and I'm just like, what the heck? Because like I grew up with cats, you know. I guess dogs are a little bit more differently because dogs depend on you, so you get used to them more. Where a cat's like, oh, you're home, okay, leave me alone.
See, dogs are cool. Cats are the spawn of hell.
It all depends on what kind of cat you have.
Yep.
I mean, I've had, I've been around cats that
Yeah.
I would, punt into the street if I could. And then I've had, but I said that, I've seen a couple that are really, really fun to have. And
Oh, no.
she's one of them.
Oh, no. Now you know how she feels when you start moving around. Wow. Shots fired.
No, she doesn't care, Jackson.
She's, yeah.
Because she figures I'll start moving again before she realizes.
You know,
that I
the
control
only
the
thing about
move.
cats will love you even after you die. They'll feed on you. They'll get so hungry. All right. This week, reprint though of Walking Dead came out. 112. So original cover in the back. They had some nice covers back in the day. You know, of course, I went for the Negan, because he just gutted somebody with Lucille, and it's a Finch cover too. I was just like, damn! Anytime I get Negan stuff, I love it. Yeah, you get the fly. Yeah, a lot of these. Like I said, I'm liking reading this because getting to see the whole story with Negan versus Rick again. But it's all in color, and it's just it's a good story still. It's just, and I get to enjoy it more because it's in color. And I'm not sure if they stopped the backup stuff. No, they're still doing some backup stories in the back. But you also get cutting room floor stuff, stuff they left out in the original run that they, talked about. Kirkman said what he wanted to do. And then we still have this ongoing Walking Dead content. So if you're a diehard Walking Dead fan, it's cool to get new stuff. But alrighty though. All right. Number 6 for this week is a book that could be better, but the art is just kind of not doing it for me anymore. And the art is done by George Cambadius, the guy who worked on that John Carter Mars one we didn't like. And do cartoon, but where he fit in though when he started doing the art for Gargoyles. But I didn't realize he was doing the art on this. I forgot. So when I picked this up and I went to go look at the art in there, and I was just kind of like, I'll show you some. This is the kind of art I'm getting. Overly cartoon. Which makes sense because it is a cartoon. I mean, it's Silverhawks. It's the Mark Spears cover variant. I think there's like cover L or P or whatever. I can't remember when I looked it up. There's so many covers, but basically an old henchman who worked with the main bad guy in the series is now causing a ruckus. So the original Silverhawks, the one aged up, and they're the senior citizen ones, because they haven't been the Silverhawks in 100 years. So they go to fight and they get their asses kicked and they get killed. All of them are wiped out. And so we have basically, the whole purpose was basically to build a new team. They already have the new guy who's going to take over. But yeah, this is them, and they're going down the fight, and they had the upper hand, and then it just goes like Nemesis, and he just like kills all of them. Let me show the thing. Yeah, at the end, he ripped one guy in half, and just left the other guy there. He's like, go tell your boss that that we don't give a shit about you. He left him alive to leave a message. So, yeah. Like I said, it's an okay story. But like I said, I really have no attachment other than the book, because I never watched the cartoon. I watched the intro. Looked cool. Silverhawks intro. By the time I came across the 80s cartoon, I was too old, and I just didn't really, I guess resonate with me. But I like the idea, though. That you have these cybernetic cops are going to go after these, bad guys that the normal cops, space cops can't handle. But I don't know. I might stick with it. I might not. I mean, the writing is good. It is Ed Brisson. I do like his writing, so I'll stick with it. But every time I remember, every time I forget that the art, who's doing the art, and I go to open up the book and it's like, oh, it's like that's right. The art's just kind of Yeah, he says I love Thundercats, but Silverhawks was just silly. Says Jackson, the cartoons. I was more of a Thundercats guy, more of a Transformers. I could not get into the G.I. Joe cartoons. I know, that was a big popular thing, but I was more of Transformers, All right. Number 5 this week. Scorch. This is cover B by John Layman and drawn by Steve Segovia. We're basically Redeemer's past revealed. His father was once basically used to beat him and his brother as a kids. It's his reference page here is back to Spawn, all the way back in Spawn 29, the original Spawn series. Spawn pretty much humiliated him, left him alive and just brought all his sins out to the surface, that he beats his kids and all the crap. And kids end up shooting their dad. And then they flee, and then they go to another place. They go to I forget what, New York, and then they come across this guy who thought he was going to take care of them. Turns out he is just an asshole, just like their father. They've been branding him, and yeah. So it's basically, well, sorry, it's Reaper. Reaper is saying this, not, and he blames. He says, his whole battle against Redeemer, who he believes that it's going to bring around the end of the earth and stuff. The Scourge end up getting involved and basically telling him to stand. If you're going to go against one of our guys, you're going to go against all of us. And it's revealed that actually Redeemer, the angel one, the gold one, the blue one, is actually Reaper from the future.
Where's Miro?
No, he's not in this one.
Wrong Redeemer?
Yeah, wrong Redeemer.
All right, I'm going back to the game.
We also get Haunt, who's messed up in the head. From Scorch 37, he was confronted by some people, and they messed with his head, and he basically revokes. He doesn't no longer wants to be on the team anymore, and he renounces his brother Kurt. He said, "I'm done with Kurt. I'm done with this. I'm just going back to being a priest." And so basically, he decides he's going to quit. And so she says, you want to get away from us? He's basically just, yeets him to another part of the world. Much of a surprise. So then we get the Lord Skeletor's place. This is down in hell. We find this guy who's talking to this demon, and he's like, "You've been down here for years, but you won't break and all that stuff. Why? Because I hate you more. I hang on clicking the hate. I have so much more hatred for stuff than you do." And the shocking revelation for this is that it's actually Reaper's father, the cop, And he's been down there since his son killed him. He says, "Hey, I'll make a deal with you. You let me go up, because the demon says, we can't break you." And out of curiosity, he said, "What would you do if we sent you back, your freedom?" He's like, "Well, I'd go kill my son, Reaper." So, kind of gnarly, yeah, disturbing. Because the demon said, "Dude, you're pretty much almost as much demon as than you are. You're not quite demon, but you're not a man anymore. So you're kind of something in between." So, like I said, the story's been getting better since John Layman took over, and Todd McFarlane has nothing to do with the book. I think that was the problem, because Todd McFarlane sucks as writer. All right, number 4 for this week is another Ed Brisson book, Thundercats Lost. This is the prequel series. But these cats, there were about 2 ships they had. They were sent down to Third Earth to scout it because the king, Lionel's father, he talked about that they were going to go down they were going to leave Thundera and go to Third Earth because they're tired of the war and stuff. They're going to leave their homeworld, and they're building these ships. They only had 2 ready, so they sent these 2 down. Of course, they took the Book of Omens with them, and when their ship ends up crashing, and now they're trying to flee. These people are attacking them. They've already lost a few members, and they find out where part of the other ship is that they came with them is down there. So they're sneaking this town. They got this dude, like he's on the cover. He's been hunting them. But yeah, it's like a new team of just Thundercats, but they're like prior to like to the Thundercat story, but which I don't mind. It's not really changing. It doesn't affect anything. Like it's not retconning anything that was from the cartoon. So, overall, I thought it was a good story. You got the classic loner character who's like the warrior character, the cat down there. She's on the right. Who doesn't trust the leadership. She wants nothing to do with the girl with the white hair and the red up there on the top. She's talking to. She's the leader, chosen leader, despite the knowing that she's not a warrior whatsoever. And she got she's pissed off because her mate was killed because of her stupid decisions. So she ends up coming across this girl in town and basically tells him, like, the flee out of here. You're not safe here. And she says, I'll lead you to where they found your actual ship. There were 3 more cats introduced in the second season of the cartoon. All right. Do you remember what those were? Because I've seen they've had a couple new cats be introduced. Like they have the old dude here. I forgot what his name is. But I know he shows up. The Pumera and Bengali. How to look? Oh, his name's Linkso, but I remember him. All right. But Bengali does sound familiar. Yeah. Oh, then we have Zach, who is sick, is joining us. How are you, Zach?
Hey, guys.
So this is my number 4 for this week. Small week, Zach. All my books were last week.
You didn't have any books from Free Comic Book Day?
Oh, those were I showed them off last week.
Oh, that's right, because you got your books.
Yeah,
years
the
early.
only new
That's
one
right.
I got, I did get another Free Comic Book Day one, Zach, and that was this one. Yeah, Gundam Wing one. 30th anniversary special. So it's a one shot. I would honestly, if they released this as an ongoing, I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
What if they just did an ongoing season of that guy doing Gundam style?
Go back to your Reds. Or Zach, or Rain, eat a Snickers bar. You're not you when you're.
That's unkind.
Yeah.
What if it came with that hot Asian chick that was dancing in the video?
Which video they're talking about again?
Do you remember that gimmick hit about 15 years ago?
I never watched the video. I heard it on the radio, and I thought they were saying Gundam style.
Gangnam Style.
Well, the hottest K-pop bimbo was in the video with him, so you could at least turn the sound off and enjoy her.
It's like VHS. Just pause. Or SLP slow.
So Zach, you feeling any better? Or?
The miracle combination of Theraflu, homemade chicken soup, and Mucinex
All at once?
is doing gangbusters right now.
Really?
So, yeah, well, I took the Mucinex like 3 hours ago, and I had chicken soup.
So what do you have?
for
Head
lunch.
cold?
Huh?
You get the fever, like shake stuff, or you get the head cold?
You know what? I didn't have a fever. I still don't have a fever, but I've got like the achy joints.
It might be 24-hour flu then.
It could be 24-hour. I thought it's either because there's nothing respiratory, like there's no sinus infection or anything. I don't think there is. But somebody was telling me because I'm doing the keto diet, and one of my guys told me like when you do that, there is like a period where your body kind of goes into shock, and you go into what's called keto flu, which has a lot of the same symptoms.
Sounds like if a diet makes you feel that crappy, it makes it. I think they might be killing you then.
Yeah, I think Jackson's onto some. Why don't you try the Cheeto diet?
Ooh.
The Cheeto diet. That's what got me into the spot where I need to be on the Cheeto diet.
You know how you can tell if you have a fever?
How?
You want more cowbell.
You want more?
I knew you're going there, sir.
Okay,
I did. That was a good one. I'll give Jeff, I give him the credit that's due. That was a good one. I didn't see that coming.
That's a pixel joke.
But yeah, I'm doing way better than I was when I woke up. Dude, I woke up this morning feeling like I got hit by a train, though.
If you want to hear a really good Christopher Walken, and there's nothing against Pixel. I like Pixels when he does it for Doctor Doom. But the guy Jim Caviezel. Watch him.
Caviezel?
Does a Christopher Walken impersonation, and it's spot on.
Well, there's one guy makes a living doing stuff like that. The other one says shopping is a pleasure. So I know, but I see Jim all the time at Publix.
Jim Caviezel doing Christopher Walken impressions sounds interesting.
It was at a Comic-Con, and everybody was watching. All of a sudden, he popped down there. They're talking. He's like, "Hey," and he starts doing the Christopher Walken bit, and I was just like, "Wow!" You close your eyes, and it sounds like Christopher Walken's right there. So,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I never would have expected
Jesus and Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken was Jesus. There you go. All right.
That's funny.
Want me to carry this cross and these things?
Oh my God. Now we're bordering on sacrilegious.
Sackler, what, Zach? I don't know. Number 3 is Teen Titans Go. Let's have fun with this. Robin, he comes across Starfire in the kitchen. She's talking to Silky, and he mistakenly thinks that it's Starfire's birthday. So, and he's going to come out and express his feelings to her, tell her that he likes her and all that stuff. But of course, because he misheard and things got in a hand, and in order to, he's talking, they're going to plan a party for her and everything. But then Starfire comes up behind him. He quickly says, "Oh no, it's a birthday party. Oh no, my cousin, identical looking cousin, TR, Texas Robin, it's going to come into town." So Texas Robin comes there, and of course Beast Boy and Cyborg, because they're idiots, don't know it's Robin. And he helps them fight this bad guy. And then of course, because everything's Starfire's birthday, they invite Speedy, they invite Kid Flash, pretty much everybody he hates. That's a competition for him for Starfire. And eventually along the way, though, it's revealed that Cyborg and Beast Boy know that TR is actually Robin. They explain how Cyborg says, "Well, Raven explained us 5 times with detail and graphs." Like I said, it's a fun book, and it's if you enjoy what we do on Monday nights, if you watch this stuff or you're reading with us, it's a fun book. But then I was surprised because Robin actually gets a kiss from her because she thinks, "Oh, you did." She's like, "Thank you for doing this problem or party for Silky, very nice." But at the end, we get a preview for a new kids book. Never heard of that. I don't know who Ben Head is or Kendall Good and all that stuff, but it says Harley Quinn's Bud and Lou have their own book. The Hyenas, Talking Hyenas, they have their own thing. They're framed for something. No. They're framed for something, and Wonder Woman's Kangaroo, and then Ace the Bat Hound are in this too. And I love how they just write Ace, just basically he's just Batman. So it's actually great. I might pick that up and read it out. But he has a little thing. I love this because those who read Rockefellers, the robot dog has all these things. Well, Ace has a little arm thing that comes out his back and his vest he's wearing. He's able to examine things like Batman. I was loving this, he has if you see on the bottom here, yeah, that's right, at the bottom left corner, he's got a little thing and he's examining the feather and stuff. Deduces that whoever was there was actually a penguin. So, like I said, it's kind of kooky, but I might check it out. Number 2 for this week, JSA, and I got the best cover. No. Zach, I don't know if you got a chance to read. What's that?
That's the only book I was able to read.
I said that Tuesday night. I said I'm gonna spend the extra $1, and I forgot when I went out there.
Yep. So.
Son of a. I also forgot to get the Brave and the Bold facsimile.
well, my shops didn't have it, so I couldn't get it. And then
I forgot to put on pants. Weird day.
Dang. That sounds rough.
Turn 63 and it all goes to hell.
It was a warm day that day too. It was near 60, and I was just like, who lives in this kind of weather? But they have a funeral for this for a Wildcat, which is okay, I guess. I mean, I guess they're really cementing he's not coming back, or is he? We don't know.
Not necessarily.
No, but Yolanda's upset because she killed somebody, and she's talking to and I love it where she says here, it's right here where my finger is. If it zooms in, it says, "Don't Paige. It's okay. Pay that." It was up. I was enjoying this book until that word popped up, and I was like, "What the hell? Why is this shit in here?" I'm not Lillian Lowe's book. Her name's Karen, or PG. But basically, she feels guilty. She doesn't want to be the model. She's done being Wildcat, and she says, "Hey, I think his name's Tommy. Yeah,
Tommy. Yeah, it's his son from.
Yeah, she's like, Tommy, I want you to be. And he's like, listen here. I told my dad I would nothing to do with this, And she's like, great. I guess there won't be a Wildcat then. Shut the fuck up at this point. It's like. But here's the thing that irked me the most. And Zach, I don't know if you read this at all.
It was the only book I read this week.
This problem that irked me. This is a huge spoiler. If you're a fan of these characters, I guess the marriage of Jesse Quick and Rex is over.
Not necessarily.
But if that's the case, though, I mean, you kill a Wildcat and then you break up these characters.
Would you rather them sit around at a bistro and just talk about their feelings, drinking coffee?
They kind of are, bro.
Let's be fair. They are, to be fair, they are the only superhero couple in comics that have been in the honeymoon phase since they were married.
Yes.
There was no drama, nothing really interesting. So I'm going to let Lemire cook. I'm going to let him take this for a spin and see where it goes. I don't hate it.
And then Khalid, I guess his name is, he's upset because, he failed with his helmet. He gets some reassuring words from what's her name? Him, Sans, and then her is Jade, and it says, it's like, dude, Ted tried to take care of you. He'll take care of all of us. That's what he did. So don't feel bad. But it's all agreed upon that, hey, we might have saw a traitor on the team. We don't know who it is. And then we get, I like how the Justice League just kind of shows up at the funeral. They remember, he at least Jeff remembered that the League, because I guess that's sliding time still history. We're going with that. Batman and Superman, and then they also used to be part of the JSA or something like that. I don't know about Wonder Woman, but
no, not necessarily. I think they're just there as leaders of the Justice League. I don't think.
But they said we understand, shit happened, and why don't you sit back? We'll take care of this and let you mourn. And kind of and Alan Scott's and Jay are like, no, we're gonna do this. We owe it to Ted. He said, geez, it's just starting to feel like an awful the kids trying to tell the grown-ups what to do, says Jay. I don't know if that's out of character for Jay. I haven't read much.
If he's disgruntled, that's the nicest way he's
Yeah. Because I love what Batman said. Because Batman says, what did he say? And Batman replied back to him. He's like, Alan says, we appreciate that, Superman, and we're happy to cooperate with the League when we can, but the JSA can handle its own business. We always have. And Batman's like, no, you haven't. He's like, excuse me? You haven't. You let things spiral out of control, Alan. Half your team is missing, possibly dead. Cobra has deepened its presence in the U.S., and the new Injustice Society poses a massive threat to global security. And he's like, well, and we'll handle it. I'm sorry, I can't read Alan Scott without a gay lisp anymore. Thank you, Tim Sheridan. Honestly, it looks like it's interesting book. Then we have at the end, we still have Carter and Kendra who are talking to Kid Eternity. She has no idea how she died, but she's how she got here. But we get this, and this is a huge spoiler for anybody who's not read this book. You have to count to 3, 2, 1. Wildcat appears to them, and I guess they're in like, are they in hell or outside of like limbo or whatever they're at with the Tower of Fate?
The afterworld. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to call it.
I don't know. Yeah, purgatory. But this is probably what saved me from like just hating the book.
How is this your number 2? Because it sounds like you liked 3 and 4 a lot more than this.
This would actually would have been dropped on my number 3. I don't have Pop Kill this week, but overall, I said that's honestly, Zach, that's what brought me back to that was that final page, because I felt like, you know, something's finally going to happen. Maybe they're finally going to figure out who the spy is, because it just kind of felt like you were just coasting this whole entire time. And then to kill off Wildcat, I was like, oh, for some drama. It was just like, I didn't get it. So, but I can't fault it, because that drew me back in. That's why it is where it is. But number 1 book of the week is Blood Thunder. Blood and Thunder. Anybody else get this?
Negative.
Negative.
I don't even know if my shop got it.
Robert Kirkman pretty much is co-creating this.
I saw it, but I briefly considered it, but I didn't. Was that wrong?
I figured out why the girl has the weird hair. She's half alien, half human. That's why. She's not a normal human. They basically, in this world, they have next page. They tell you the page here. They're on this asteroid, and there's like different layers. The top layer is like the good people. Then you have the second, and then you have like the peasants are at base at the bottom. If you watched anything like Altered Carbon, you know, it's the same type of thing. The poor are at the bottom. Even the news reporters kind of joke about, it's like, you know, hey, it's just let you know the weather update. You know, we're gonna rain here. People on top, expect a little bit of light rain. People in the second level, you might, you know, want to close your windows a little bit. You know, have your downpour. People at the bottom, you're getting all the waste and all the shit as expected. Like they joke about it, but I love this. You get kind of, it's the flying car. It's kind of like a Fifth Element kind of sense. And they show here's the society, the top, you know, the rich on the top, and then you get to like the middle class, and then the poor at the bottom. That's where all the crime happens, at the bottom. Yeah. We get this. We're introduced basically these guys. He's an upper class guy who basically went down to what's called the Exos, you know, where they live there, and he's basically looking to get laid. He doesn't, you know, he's kind of weird like that. She ends up basically, we can introduce the title character. She's running across, chasing after a villain. And she's not, you know, just a typical routine for her. She's a bounty hunter. And she has this gun called Thunder, which is an AI gun, which is her father's gun. And, they, you know, he talks there. It's kind of like Hand, for those who have read Void Rivals. Same type of humor. Turns out the bad guy is actually, he's hoarding books, and she doesn't know why, because normally it's other stuff like drug stuff and guns, but this time he's got books. I don't know why, but she wanted to use lethal round on him because the guy was going to pull a gunner, but instead they use expander rounds, which basically makes his body slow when you shoot him. They don't explode, but it puts him in a lot of pain. So there's some cool stuff. It's going to be like the way to describe this kind of feels what was that last space show they had on? Can't remember how. Thomas Jane was in the first season.
I have no idea.
Oh, I can't remember.
Altered Carbon, wasn't it? That it?
No, that was
Anthony Mackie.
No, that's Anthony Mackie. I'm talking about.
He was in the first season. There was a season before that. I think it was Altered Carbon. It was.
No, I'm not. Thomas Jane was not in it. This is a sci-fi show, and it had I can't remember. It was and it ended up getting saved and moved over to Prime, Expanse.
Oh yes, okay,
yeah. So yeah, we have the scops, and it kind of feels kind of like almost like a little bit like Blade Runner, but also kind of like, you know, Expanse. And if all these aliens are living on this asteroid hub here, and then we go in here, it's kind of like a Men in Black kind of thing. And she walks in there, kind of walk in, says hello to the person, talks a little bit, explains, and then the chief wants to see her, and the chief pretty much is used to work with her father, and he's basically wants to bring her in to work with them. And of course she says no, but she asks like, well, "What's with these books here?" It's like apparently the guy says, "Well, these books are contain false gods and all this." He says like, she says, she's like, they're books, collected texts and writings, but before everything was digitalized, typical exo caveman stuff. She's like, what? So like STEM training manuals? She's like, he's like, he said the bigwigs had us out looking for them. Apparently, these things are full of old stories about exo civilizations and even things that are outright lies, gods and such. So basically, banned literature text because they're in a dystopian kind of world. Meanwhile, the monster we're kind of introduced, the prisoner in the front, everybody the guys are definitely afraid of. He comes to play in the back, and the end of this book. And because these guys are called down there, and it's dark in the cell thing, and they see this guy. He's like, his body gets pulled up behind him. The creature got loose, killed some people, and at the end, it kind of shows him panicking as these sizers with like an ant thing or stuff comes behind him and crushes his helmet. So, like I said, for a sci-fi book, I thought it was actually pretty cool. The artist and stuff, like I've never heard of the artist, EJSU. I guess he's Korean or something like that. Benito Sereno is the writer, and it's just those so basically Kirkman co-produced this and stuff. So I thought it was a decent book.
So the artist must be a boy named Sue.
His last name is Sue.
Yeah, boy named Sue.
But then I have some back issues, so I can get that up. The great thing about this, when I got it at the post office, it was already torn up a little bit, so I just ripped it up. It would easily get out now. Isn't that great? Thanks, post office, for just destroying my bags. All right. These are books I got from E's auction. Yeah, we'll just get right to it. All right. Looks like I got Punisher 32. Then we have Punisher 61. Crackdown. And we got 62. I think this it's a Quesada cover. Joe Quesada. Then we have 72. 67. These are all out of order because I just got them, so I didn't put them in order. 65. 63.
That's a nice cover. That's a nice cover right there.
I know, right? Who did they see on the cover here? Sometimes they write their names. I'm not sure. Whoever was in 1992.
Ooh, excuse me.
64.
We wondered who did that cover.
Yeah.
Mark Teixeira.
Never heard of them.
Tex Sierra. Yeah, you have.
Is that I saw a Tex ink? Is that supposed to be a signature?
Yeah. Yeah, he did a lot of Wolverines. You'd recognize his art. He's actually pretty good.
All right, then we're getting to some blood ties. So, why not? Off to see Captain America. And how would you rate him being drawn in this?
Oh, God.
On a scale of Liefeld to Riley Hospital.
That's the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Some Quasimodo stuff right there.
So it looks like he's turned around.
It's like he's got a mass on his right side.
Like this. Yeah, like this. And then he's just, I don't know.
That's weird.
But that is Andy Kubert.
No.
I love you're like, what? No, Andy Kubert.
What did you do, Andy?
And this is something Renee. I can't tell. This is number 27 of X-Men. And then we're getting number 43, British War Journal. And then we got here, number 69. 69. All right. And you recognize this? This is part of the cover ranking, and also was in the one of our readings we did this.
Nice.
But the best one, though, this is the one I still love the most, and it is a Spider-Man book. I don't get a yes. Wow. It's a Holly Jolly Christmas in Dallas with the Kingpin.
When I was a boy.
Yep, Dallas Times Herald. Here you go, Jay. If you're still watching. Great story, too. We read it on the channel. All right. You know, I wish he'd just take these price stickers off before he sends these books. But Marvel Holiday Special. $9.84. George Perez cover. So it's great seeing George Perez draw Spider-Man. I normally don't get that. I'm on the focus. Come on. Oh. It's a gift for using a new camera. It just keeps me on the focus, guys. All right. Look at the 99 Holiday Special. Captain Ultra, Ghost Rider, the Hulk, Thor, Tom and Mark, whoever the hell that is. Nick Fury, White Wingfoot, She-Hulk, Mephisto, Spider-Man, and Mary Jane. So he drew all the different characters on the stockings. Yeah, I'm not sure who the artist is, though. Maybe a list online. All right. All right. Then we got Punisher Holiday Special. You can see how long he's had these books, right?
Obviously, these are Christmas books.
Yep.
Obviously, been holding on to them for a good bit.
Dude, he's had my books for like 6 months. I feel that's okay though, because I always tell him, "It's like, dude, I understand you're struggling for money, Like, I'll pay you for shipping, but it's shipping at your convenience, I'm also making room for them too here at the home. So, then we got Punisher Holiday Special. That's number 2. Not sure who the artist is on this. Oh, Sienkiewicz. Or Sienkiewicz. All right. Out of the Christmas and then into the other books. We got some Judge Anderson with Dan Dare and Harry 20. So, all right, then we go into number 6 of that. This is another Judge Anderson. And then we get Action Universe. Or actually, the DC Universe. Yes. Wonder Woman with a Green Lantern ring.
Oh, that's neat.
I don't know if she puts it on or if it's John's or whatever, but she's chosen to be a Green Lantern, I guess. That's what it looks like in the cover. Then we get Action of the DC Universe number 13, starring Impulse and Martian Manhunter. It's a one-man band. Literally. Plus Green Arrow. Hey, by J.D. Vance. Yes. All right. I was trying to get these. I hate these price things he puts on here. It's great for it's on the book, but when you want to remove them, they don't always come off. I hate putting a new book on there, but Avengers King Size Annual.
Oh, is this part of the Avengers Defenders War?
Why do the Avengers battle the Defenders?
I don't think it is. I don't remember Nebulon being in it. Or Beast being in there. Nope, never mind. Answer my own question.
It's Purple Beast.
That's kind.
Yeah. All right. The dynamic duo battles the Huntress and Sportsmare in 13 points to a dead end. And DC Giant, Batman Family Giant. I love these old books. And the Va-Va-Voom on the left. And yep. And there's only one left. Can you guess what it is? It's something I had a bunch of at the beginning of this. Punisher Wardrobe, version number 24. International Bloodbath. All right, there you go. Who wants to go next, or who has to leave soon? I should say that. Bueller?
Oh, I'm still here. I'm good.
Zach, you can go, or whoever. I don't care.
Jeff, if you need to leave because you're knee or whatever, let's let it know.
I guess I can. Hold on.
All right.
Go for it.
Go for it. Connect 4.
It's sort of like Rocky 3. Go for it. All right.
That's right.
Yeah, it was. All right, so I had to go get my free comic book day stuff from my room because you mentioned that, so I came in. We were allowed 4 if you weren't in costume, and of course I wasn't going to go in costume. Wearing a Batman shirt and a Batman hat, I guess that isn't considered being in costume. And there's only 2 that I really wanted, so I got 2 more. And this is one of the ones that I got that wasn't, it was just a hard pass.
I got that one.
Have you seen that mustache on Johnny?
Yeah, I'm tired of the Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck's mustache is a good mustache. This is not a good mustache. This is
This is a porn stash.
Yes. No, I mean, actually, there's a couple of porn stashes that actually look better than this one. So, and then I got this, which wasn't bad.
Yeah, that one was better, I thought. That was a good one.
And then these 2, which were really, really, really good.
You found one. Wow.
Yes. And
because no one can find that book anywhere else. My shop's tried.
I got it, and I just, I read it, and I was just like, holy cow. So, and then this week I got the latest one. They didn't have any of the back issues, so I ordered 1, 2, and 3. Those will be coming.
Yeah, my shop owner, one of the guys running it, was pissed because they're supposed to get that book in the Monsters thing, and they never shipped them.
Bastards.
And you can't get them now because they're so hot, expensive.
And then this, which is really good. I hope it's going to be a new series, but I don't know. art wasn't fantastic, but it's okay. So I've got 7.
7.
Yes. Oh, come on, darn it! My chair, the wheel was on my thing, so I don't.
Ouch! That sounds painful.
No, I mean on this.
And impressive.
Yes. Let's go with that. Number 7. Reprint. And number 6. Rockabilly Vampiro Apocalypse. Number 4.
Okay.
The last one came out such a long time ago that I really didn't remember much of what was going on. But I didn't feel like breaking out that last one's and rereading it. But I did sort of remember some of the things that were going on, and it's kind of going a little bit downhill. 5. Plague House, number 2. Don't know if anyone's been reading it.
Never heard of it.
But the first book, it's some like ghost hunter people, like you see on the TV a lot nowadays. They've got a dude, who's the main guy, a priest, and some chick who does the research who,
Yeah.
she's a they, which kind of annoyed me. But they went to the house called the Plague House and found all the stuff out, and they go there and then they cleanse them. But there's a lot of stuff going. This was a really infamous house, and they cleansed it. And this was,
I was gonna say to Dungeon Crawler Carl. What's up?
But then they just this one moves on, and they have a little bit of the guy who was from the house gets killed at the very beginning on this one, and they're dealing with it, and then they show a couple more of the things that they do in the next. They do 3 or 4 more cleansings during this real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out all the people whose houses they do are getting killed, and there is a
whose house?
Swerve's house.
And so there's stuff going on, and then dude who's the main guy does an interview on TV, which he pisses everybody off, and they quit on him because he was just being a dick.
Ow.
And they quit because the priest is quitting because all the deaths, and they think that he thinks that there's a serial killer following him around on their stuff, and the chick, they, them, is pissed because he's just being a dick. And so, but then you find out there actually is a killer, involved. It's okay. Number 4 was the Absolute Green Lantern number 2. Not as good as the last one.
That's not good.
I was really impressed with the last one, but
it means I probably don't like it as much because I hate the first one.
You have dude right there, the bald dude with the
the cop or whatever it was supposed to be.
Who's that?
Lex Luthor?
No.
Dr. Hammond?
Nathan Fillion from the movie.
It's Guy Gardner.
That's Guy Gardner with no hair and bald and has a...
Yeah, and he's the sheriff.
I'm out.
And that is Hal Jordan, the one with the little, haircut. And it's just really weird, and that's Abin Sur right there with the forearms.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know if I'll go on with the next one. It just wasn't good. It was worth,
Hey.
Number 3. Even though I don't know what was going on, I think this might be a new story arc, or maybe they're just one story per. I don't know. I'll have to wait to get number 1, 2, and 3. They didn't have 1, 2, and 3 back issues at the store that I saw, so I had them order it. But Really good art. Have you been reading this there, Vink?
Nope. I told you which one? You want the monsters one?
Yeah.
I said those are like super expensive because you cannot find them because they're not shipping them to stores.
Oh, I thought you just meant the
No, the whole monster series. Shops cannot get them there on back order.
Oh, I thought you meant just the
No.
free comic book day one. I thought
No, I meant all of them. Yeah.
But really good art and just some that was him as a kid, and he's come walking into town. He's like a monster hunter, and then you showing some kids are going to check out this house. They're on a kind of like a little quest. Who shot JR? Brian, I'm sure you remember that shirt. They're going to check out this house where this guy's kind of a creep, and they're talking about him. It says the kid who has the Who Shot JR shirt says, "I never liked Old Man Crawley. My mom says he used to show up at her work and stare at her for hours." And one of the other kids says, "Your mom is a stripper, dork."
Ouch.
Which I thought was really funny.
Is his name Harry?
I don't know. But
that was a joke.
Okay.
I should probably explain it to you.
Get off your ass and go knock on some doors.
Yeah.
But they finally get to the house, and they they see the old man, and then Marty Feldman is in there.
What?
Looks like Marty Feldman. It's Igor, but it's Marty Feldman. It looks like Marty Feldman. Young Frankenstein. So it's him and Frankenstein and a vampire and all that there at the house, and they're switching back and forth between the that and the guy that's going into town to get picked up by the sheriff, and he's like it's like, "I need to get out of this cage. I need to get out of this cage. I need to get out of this cage." And they're like, "Nope, we think that you're involved with some missing kids." And then they go to this nice shot, which you don't really see in much, but
who's the artist on that?
Written and illustrated by Mark Spears.
Wow. Now I can see why it's a hot book. It's like good interior art.
Yeah, great shot right there. But I guess this guy right there, the one with the kind of like spawn eyes, he's Slayer.
Okay.
And I guess these two know each other. And I like the way she's drawn right there. They're having this thing, and they're looking for somebody, and he's going in.
For those watching home, just pause the stream when he shows the book, and he can view it.
I was showing it really quick, just because I didn't want to know how much, But
well, I mean, as long as it's a topless nudity.
No, she's got her arms placed in the right spot.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as I don't care. It's like.
But yes,
we're not monetized. We're not getting AdSense anywhere now. So screw YouTube.
Number 2.
And 5 more subs. Thank you, YouTube. We love you.
Pop Kill. That's number 3.
Great issue.
I really liked it. And it turns out that the 2 brothers that are running the different companies were Siamese twins.
You didn't know that?
That was in the description before the series started.
Yeah.
Really? I guess I didn't.
Yeah. You didn't notice that one was missing an arm that the other one had?
Yeah, I did not. Shows you how much I pay attention. I was going to go back and start looking at it. And then the best book of the week by far. And this is an impulse buy. Look out.
Hey, it's an AWA book. I thought they were under.
I don't know. It's by AWA Vertigo. And Breen, remember those the illustrated they tried to do a replacement for like the EC books where it was prose with some pictures. They were illustrated.
I don't remember.
Okay, I have a book back there where they it was the whole collection of it. It didn't last long, but this is sort of what they're doing here. It's a lot of it is prose, but then it's also it's illustrated. So what we have, this guy here is his name is Oscar. He got a divorce, and it was a really bad divorce, and he wanted to get out of town, and so he takes this job. He applies for this job, and it's a lookout, in kind of like you see that tower at the top. It's one of those things out in the forest where they're up there to look for like fires and stuff like that. And I just dropped my book. And when he gets there, it's just out in the middle of nowhere. He was told the job was filled, but all of a sudden it came open. And when he gets there, there is a sheet of paper on the desk, and it says rules to avoid the weeping lady. And like there's 9 different rules. It's like if you see a woman in the woods weeping to herself, don't approach her or draw attention to yourself. Return to your tower. And there's just all these different. Well, there's 9 of them, and it's just basically. It sounds kind of like a really weird situation. Like at night always sleep with your lamp on. And it just sounds like really creepy. And that's what this thing is. This is a really creepy book. So he's out there alone. He's got this whole area that he's supposed to keep an eye on, and there's this. The guy who had been there before has this list. There's this kind of like they aren't sure if it's a ghost or something like that, but it's a weeping lady who comes in. She's like scratching, trying to get into the house and stuff like that. And when he sees these, he starts. This is actually kind of smart. He actually says, "I don't know what this is all about, but I'm following the rules." And he pays attention to the rules, but this book just starts getting creepier and creepier and creepier. It's like 60 pages long. But
reminds me of the other book you had about the cryptoids or skinwalkers, or what I think it was called. That came out a couple of years back. There was a book that was all about like aliens and like skinwalkers and stuff. It might have been called Skinwalkers. It was a horror book. I remember it was a book that you were talking about, so it's probably in your collection somewhere. You'll come across it.
But it just got really. It's just getting creepier and creepier. It's a really good book. It's just kind of it hits the ground running and just keeps going, and it just it was at the end. You're just oh. It was a great book, and I highly recommend it. It is only $9.
We've been paying attention to the chat while you've been talking. Geekeasy sponsoring Pepsi on the channel, and I'm like, me and Breen are drinking some type of Coke, and they're like Dr. Pepper, LaCroix, bubbly.
I like this a little bit better than I like the Dr. Pepper, but if this was more than 3.5 years ago, I'd be drinking something else.
Zach, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Thermaflu.
I think you're only supposed to have a tablespoon or something like that.
No. It's a powder you mix in with hot water. It's not like Robitussin.
Oh, okay.
And also, I'm also drinking in the adulation, but that's just.
Robitussin. They didn't make it anymore. I know for kids, but
yeah, they still do. Wow. They still make it.
All right. Any other thing you got to show off, or that's it?
Nope.
All righty then.
That was. I highly recommend that book. And also the Spears one too. The monster.
Yes, like I said, the monsters from Mark Spears. If you guys can find that book, from what we can tell, the art looks good. Mark Spears has been doing a lot of covers for other books, especially at Dynamite. I noticed that. Whoa, Zach's got his blue light glasses on.
I do. Well, no, it's just when I woke up with a headache, and so knowing that I'm gonna have screens going on.
Yeah. I know, but I mean, it's like we're looking at you. We're seeing the monitor.
You're seeing what's on my screen. Can you see all 3 of them?
Yes, I can see all three of them. One's turned sideways,
Nice.
jacked up. I was wondering what that was. I was like, what is in the middle there? It looks weird. Then I realized it's a monitor.
It's Twitter. I have Twitter open. So, like, if I
Zach's looking at the ladies posting their underwear.
That's just too bright. That's just YouTube. Okay, we're gonna do away with that then. Okay. No, ladies. What are you talking about? All right.
I'm sorry, guys.
The one book I read this week so far, because I mustered the willpower up to read this after I saw Breen say it was the best issue so far, and I agree with him. This was very well written. I think it goes to show a good writer makes it so that you don't have to have action in every issue to do compelling storytelling. I thought this was very, very good, very well done. The funeral, the kind of the fallout, the different kind of factors in the JSA. I thought this was all very well written. Also, I kind of called that Hawkman and Hawkwoman still being off in the afterlife somewhere with Kid Eternity. I called that they would somehow plug that with Wildcat. So I'm vindicated right now. But yeah, this was a great issue though. Overall, I think I agree with Breen. I think this is the best one so far.
I hope they bring back alive, or they should bring back all the members they showed at the end alive.
That's too much. That's too much.
I want Ken Nelson back,
because then you're going to have way too many people, and you're not going to be able to give them all the screen time or the page time that they're due.
We'll create a new book with them. I'll get that.
They tried that. They actually tried that back when the JSA was huge. During the Jeff Johns era, they tried to do a spinoff team called JSA All Stars. It did not do well, unfortunately, because that had one of the cooler lineups. I did also get This Is the Moon is Following Us. This is issue number 9.
Crypto, no!
I know, that kind of makes me
it's hesitant. A horse. I thought it was a dog at first.
Dude, for all I know, it's either a giant dog or a unicorn. I think it's a unicorn. I don't know. But knowing how Daniel Warren Johnson writes, I'm kind of hesitant.
It's a unidog.
But that's been fun. I got Fantastic Four Fanfare. I got the really cool Mark Bagley cover. This is probably Mark Bagley's best art that he's ever done. I'm just kidding. I'm sure he's done. I believe
I heard some positive reviews about
this. This apparently is really good.
Mark Waid did a story on that.
Who did?
Mark Waid did a story.
Mark Waid did one. There are some other people. Alan Davis did one, and then Andrew Wheeler, I think, was the third one. I'm not sure. Jay Lucian was just in the comments talking about this. He said it was awesome, so I'm looking forward to reading Absolute Superman. That's number 7.
Choose the left or the right.
The left has the city. The right has the aliens.
The city.
Ultimate Wolverine, issue number 5. Really can't wait to read
versus
this
Jack Russell, the Terrier.
That one was cool.
Oh.
And then finally, we got G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. This is number 316, where Snake Eyes and the ninjas, I guess they go undercover into behind enemy lines.
I guess he's just hiding in someone's living room, looking out the window, like.
Could be.
Move over, Grandma.
All right. So those are the books that I got. I'm looking forward to reading those at some point this week, maybe tomorrow. I did get a bunch of free comic book day, not free comic book day stuff. Where are my free comic books? They may be in here somewhere. I thought I had them in here. Yep. Well, my shop does they do like a big sale on free comic book day. So it's like they have like dollar bins out.
Oh, did you see that some of them were actually like Energon Universe released again for price?
They did that last year.
Yeah.
They did it last year. So, but I did get 20 books for $20 that I did some hunting for. I'm very proud on these. So I got, first of all, this is, and some of these have no rhyme or reason to them. Some of these I thought just looked cool. Some of them are actually to fill out my collection. But I do have Armageddon Inferno number 4, Return of the Justice Society.
Nice.
So I got that. There's some names on here. Ostrander, Giordano, Neil Adams is on there. If this camera would work well. Netzer, Simonson, Mandrake, a bunch of familiar names. So got that. Then I got some Justice League Americas. Kind of one of the, to go along with the Justice League Europe. So this is the Great Tortellini villain. That looks funny.
Guy looks out of place there. He's not bald and have a beard.
Number 39. Despero, Martian Manhunter. We're in the UN flag.
I was going to say, is that the UN Nations flag?
It is the UN Nations. And then this is number 30. So that's all of the Justice Leagues I got. And then I found a bunch of these. I figured maybe I should give this a try. I know there's only 12 issues in it. But I picked up some new challengers from the New Age of Heroes that DC was doing. This is the new challengers. This is from Andy Kubert and Scott Snyder.
Holding the line at $2.99.
Yeah, right? Remember that? Remember those days? So I got issue number 1. They didn't have number 2. So I jumped to number 3. So I'm going to be on the lookout for number 2.
I thought that was a Shining Knight at first. Then you zoomed in.
Bro, it's a dinosaur. It's a space god on a dinosaur. Come on. Then I got number 4. That one looks pretty cool. In this issue, a challenger dies.
Zach, wave to Imperial Goddess, who's watching you live on Twitch right now.
Probably the only person watching live on Twitch right now. Issue number 5. Challenger's out of time. Issue number 6. To kill a space god. And issue number, how many of these did I have? I think I had a few more. I got issue number 7.
Nice.
But that's a different series. You did notice that, didn't you?
I did. This said New 52.
Right.
So,
old challengers.
Oh, this is old challengers. Yeah. So there's issue number 8.
Old challengers.
I'm trying to get into Challengers of the Unknown. I'm going to give that a try. Maybe that'll scratch the Fantastic Four itch that I've been having. Completely unrelated. I've been trying to find issues of this Frankenstein Agent of Shade. So that's issue number 12 from Matt Kent.
Yep.
I've been wanting to fill out because apparently some of the Creature Commandos besides Frankenstein show up in this. So got that. Then this looked like fun, and I can only find 2 issues of it, and I think they're 2 of the last issues. It's a very short run, but there was a Defenders run back in the 2010s or something from Matt Fraction. And so you had Doctor Strange and Silver Surfer, but you also had Ant-Man, Red She-Hulk, Nick Fury, and Iron Fist. So that's issue number 10. And then this is issue number 12. And I believe that's Terry Dodson who does the cover on this one at least. It looked kind of fun. I like the lineup. It looked pretty cool. So I thought, let me try this out. Fraction's not a terrible writer.
No, he was good at Marvel at that time.
Yeah,
because his Iron Man was really good. Something happened. Yeah, a lot of these guys. I noticed. Like I said, I was just reading some. Yeah, I've been reading a lot of books from Marvel from that 6-year stretch. From House of M through Fear Itself.
Yeah.
Jason Aaron books were good.
Yeah.
What was it?
Was he on Wolverine and the X-Men during that time?
Let me see.
Might have been. It might have been.
I've got.
He was on it at some point. I know that.
I've got one right here, so I can tell you.
Of course, he does. Pulls it out of the couch cushion.
No, I said I just that he was doing that. No, I said I just picked one up a couple days ago.
Oh, okay. Then,
a lot of guys just fell apart sometime after all new, all different.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, well, we can speculate, and I'm pretty sure we'd be right on the reason for that. But I got some Avengers Academy. This is issue number 19. Fear Itself. Speaking of Fear Itself, Fear Itself tie-in. Metal versus Absorbing Man. I think it's Absorbing Man. That's kind of cool.
He did get one of the hammers, yes.
Yeah. And then we got, this is number 16. I think that's Absorbing Man again. So yeah, fun series. If you haven't read Avengers Academy, it's one of the best young superhero books I think you'll find out there.
I agree with my comic son.
What's that?
I said I agree with my comic son.
I'm on a roll. Got Annihilators. This is a spinoff series, Earthfall. I don't know anything about it except Abnett Landing's name's on it, so I know it'll be good. It looks like cosmic heroes come to Earth. There's Wolverine. We know Carol Danvers is in the good costume. So right there is enough reason to get this for $1. Beta Ray Bill, Gladiator. I mean, he just looks really good. So
you beat me to it.
I didn't beat you anything, bro. Wish we're thinking
that's issue number 1. Then we have Earthfall, issue number 2.
Ooh.
Some more see Valkyrie on there. I think Valkyrie was fairly big around this time because I know she had a bigger role in like Fear Itself or After Fear Itself. Red Hulk, Miss Marvel, and then I've always loved Cosmic Marvel, so it's cool seeing more Cosmic Marvel books. And then we have this is 3 of 4, so I am missing the final. Oh no, this is just Annihilators. This isn't Earthfall, so this is just regular Annihilators. Looks like the Brood and Silver Surfer. So plus Rocket Raccoon and Groot by Abnett and Lanning. So that's issue number 3. And then last one I got is 4 of 4. This is Annihilators. More cosmic goodness right here. Plus Rocket Raccoon and Groot. So, and then here are the free comic book ones that I got. They allowed us to have 5, but I could not find 5 that interested me. So I walked out with 3. I did get the Fantastic Four one, mainly because I think this is Ivan Coelho or Humberto Ramos. One of those two. I think it's Coelho.
But the story sucked.
The story wasn't great. I didn't care for the story, but the art was pretty. Also, the art for the X-Men story was great until you get to the very last page. And then
did you get the
But the art's not bad.
Ultimate one?
Wait, what's that?
Ultimate Universe one?
No, I did not get that one. That one was low.
It looked like a repeat, doesn't it?
That one was low. Well, probably it is because they're doing the whole Ultimate Inversion thing.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be some rehashing of that. I did get the All-In, which was better. I did like the All-In one. That Flash villain, I think, is going to have a very big part, at least in the Absolute Flash series, which I'm kind of excited for. It is also double-sided, like the first All-In issue was. So I thought that was cool. You get 2 stories in one here.
Nice.
The first story,
as you should.
Flipping upside down here. Yeah, the first one is more of like a Superman in the main universe story, and then you flip on the other side, and it's kind of a recapping of the Absolute Universe. So that was cool. And then, last but not least, the Energon Universe Free Comic Book Day. You get 3 different stories in here. 1 G.I. Joe, 1 Transformers, 1 Void Rivals. The G.I. Joe one was really good. The Transformers one was really good.
I liked all of them.
The Void Rivals one, all right. I'm not as big into it as like Dinkman is, but it was entertaining enough. It was for a free book. It's pretty good.
You know what though?
This is good.
We say about Void Rivals, it's okay, but it's miles above it than a lot of the other stuff that's been coming out. Said like we're
even with the other stuff that's coming out.
With Skybone, we're getting spoiled by how good this stuff is, and we're starting to like, well, that wasn't as great as the other one, but it's still great though. Like, that's the thing about it. It's not like you're like at Marvel. Well, I like Moon Knight, but then we got the Avengers. That's just great. And then like, holy crap, what they do Spider-Man?
I mean, Void Rebels is kind of low compared to.
Void. Have you been reading? Have you caught up on Void Rebels?
Dude, I've been reading Void Rivals since day one, like you. It's just not it's not that much of my cup of tea.
Oh, then why are you still buying it then?
Because it's good. I mean, it's good enough for me to justify it, but it's not like I'm not crazy. Like if I could only get 5 books, Void Rivals is one of the first ones I'll cut off the list.
Ash who? I've never heard of this guy.
I don't think Ash. No, Ash was into Ultra Mega. I don't know if he read Void Rivals. I don't know if we even talked to him about it when it first came out.
But hey, Rhaegar, I know that was meant to be a facetious comment, but I've actually seen in places where they're charging for free comic book day books and a lot of money because I guess they were rare.
Yeah.
So
rather crazy.
Yeah, usually like I've gone to certain shops. There's a limit, and I have 2 shops within like 10 minutes of each other, so I could walk away with with 10 books if I wanted to. Have them hold the specific books here, and then have the other ones there, and then I get all the books I want to get. The only one I could not find was the Phantom. So, you guys see that in your shop at all? Right, you guys?
I didn't see anything with the Phantom now.
I wasn't looking, so
it'd be the shiny purple cover. You would have seen it.
It must have been a ghost, or it walked. I don't know.
Like our audience,
especially after jokes like that.
Ew.
No, they're long gone. Wait, they're long. All right. Anything else, Breen or Zach?
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Breen, what do you got for us?
I thought Zach was going to take a little longer, so stall for me.
I can stall for you. I got a short box I can go through.
Show a few more. I got I'm working on a smoky treat here, so.
Oh, smoky treat! I love those.
Smoky treats.
Is it grape flavored?
No, it's,
more
it's cancer flavored.
My favorite kind.
the wine flavored little cigars with the little white tips on them, the little things. I used to smoke those. Those are back in the day. Birds of Prey. Great series. I'm about great art. Ed Benes art here. This is a nice trade I bought off of Angleton at the auction.
Looks like Greg Land on the back.
It is.
It is. Oh, look at that. That is Greg Land. That's what Greg Land used to do. But yeah, like I said, such a fun book. Bro, we used to have cake. They took the cake away. We no longer have cake in DC. Bastards. And then I got the nail trade.
Oh,
Yeah, I already have the individual issues.
hey, Alan Davis.
So, yep. And there's a wrapper on cover too. Alrighty. And then we got some other issues I got here. We got Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man number 71. Yep. With his gun. All right. Then we have 114. I'm kind of excited because these are ones I did not get a chance to read. Because when I had the CD-ROMs and stuff, so I read all the Amazing Spider-Mans, but I never got a chance to collect the Peter Parker. I knew about the Web, so I was collecting those, but I was like, wait, there's a third series? So,
Yeah, those were he had like 3 or 4 of them back in the day.
it can make sense. Look at Superman, had 5 by the 90s. So, is that Loki with a gun? That's what I thought it was at first.
Kind of does. That's something.
Yeah. I don't know. It says, I've got the rocket racer dead in my sights. Nothing can stop me now, except for that zombie hand. And then we got the Puma.
Puma. It's a Puma.
I mean,
Get
and
to the Puma.
I always love when you see these, like, you just crash in the window and it's like, surprise, Charlie. It's just,
Have a nice day. I like that in the corner. It says, have a nice day.
Yeah.
Spider-Man saying that.
And there's bullet holes in it. Yeah, Rick Buckler cover. And wow. All right. Then we got some Sumerian, the Joss Giant's daughter from Ablaze back in the day. Yeah. Number 1. And Jeff will like this. Number 2.
Oh yeah.
Number 3.
Now that's some mighty fine art, I'm telling you.
Yep. And then these are so old. Remember when E used to use the multicolored like stickers and stuff, and he was also using like the post-it notes?
Are they green old?
No.
Yeah, but nothing really is.
I'm really close.
Well, I wouldn't say old, but I know Marani's around his age. She's the one that told him to turn the lights on when God made the earth. Hey, it was her joke.
Pretty good one. Somebody should take Marani for that.
She's like Marines around his creation. They would say that it's like, and I was joking with her. It's like,
joke's on you. Hadn't been invented yet.
Yeah. Says, will you turn the light on?
Still waiting on Edison.
Krypton Chronicles. Yeah. And almost done. Brandon, I'll let you on. All right. Codename Genetics or Genetics.
Genetics.
Right. Battle Under London. It looks like they must be the Acolytes. I don't know who they're supposed to be on the guy on the left.
Acolytes?
I think that's what they are. Aren't they? 1 of 4. Oh, here's 2 of 4. Pride before fall. Guys, Wolverine. Oh, whole new meaning. Hey, look, the Savage Land. Dinosaurs.
Nice.
And Kazar.
Love dinosaurs.
Who's the guy on the right in the corner? The sunglasses on.
It might be Blade. I don't know. It says guest starring Wolverine and Kazar. I don't know who the Gen X team is, but it looks like basically random mutants you would get in the new ones today. They were there, and then they're gone.
Well, in the early 90s, Marvel UK was an entire line. And it's like it has early Brian Hitch art in there.
Yeah.
But I don't remember who the characters were really.
Yep. And then then we have Alpha Flight, number 1. Look, he's on fire. That's before the whole Phoenix Saga thing.
No, it didn't.
No, the one where they all got Phoenix powers. They split into 5 people. Remember they did that in the 2000s?
Yeah.
They all got a part of the Phoenix. Emma Frost, I think Colossus, Cyclops. So then I have the number 2. And then we'll end it right here. So Brink gets you off his books.
Is that the first Herbie?
I think it is. Forbidden Worlds, number 1.
Well, it's 73 in America.
Number 4. I don't have to look at it. The Riddle of Robert O'Malley. The cover is torn on the so I'm probably never taking it out. Leave it in there. But alrighty, I'll let you go. But that was about a fourth of my box.
Okay, well, first, I said, never forget what they took from us. That just 20 years ago, this was an approved cover at DC.
There you go. Ed Benes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Were you digging it up when you saw me had the trade?
Well, it's right here. I got it last week.
You and your magic couch. I know.
Okay, I'll start with a couple of free comic book day books. I honestly don't remember this one because I was kind of like half-ass reading it. But I do remember the Mark Russell story didn't annoy me. So that's good, which is more than I can say for apparently David Pepos is letting his freak flag fly in Captain Planet. Talking about colonizers and things. Here is the Phantom.
Nice. You did get it. Cool.
Yeah. It was a pretty straightforward Phantom story. These poachers kill a tiger and then find out it's like the barely more than a cub of a giant oversized tiger that's now hunting them. And
oh, jeez. The
Phantom basically gives them a chance to save themselves. 2 of the 3 don't take the chance, and 1 does. So that's number 4, Fantastic Four Fanfare. Good call, Zach. This was fun. I enjoyed all 3 stories. And for a Marvel book in 2025, that's like filling an inside straight. Number 3, JSA. Like I said, best book of the series so far. Seeing all the last page gave me hope that, because as much as I like the kids, I'd love to see some of the grown-ups back.
Yep. Yeah.
Number 2, Kill. And so it was, it'd be nice if the interior art looked anywhere near as good as this, but it doesn't. But the story makes up for it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it all wraps up in the next issue. But my number one for the week was Space Quest. This takes place after Johnny Quest 5, so they're back in 1965. Some kind of experiment goes wonky, and Jan and Jace from Space Ghost end up back in 1965, and Johnny and Haji on the last page, they're face to face with Space Ghost. So this is going to be fun. And
I was going to say, Brain, the last time we had good art with Adam Hughes art in the interior that's similar like that was called Heat Seekers, and we got a shitty story.
Well, that's Adam Hughes is better by far than the Heat Seekers.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
last time Adam Hughes did the interiors, it was a Betty and Veronica series.
Yep.
But unfortunately, the PC police had such an iron grip on the industry by then that, I mean, they were pretty, but they were pretty much completely covered.
Was that the Vampirellas? They meet the Vampirellas?
No. It's just a Betty and Veronica. Where I can't remember. I think Mr. Lodge was gonna buy the chocolate shop and bulldoze it. So Betty was trying to save it, and Veronica was basically opposing it. So so then I picked up some back issues. Show those real quick. Superman 347. 356. And 360. The Action 551. $523. Then we'll shoot back a few years. $391. $386.
Cool.
$384. $2.
Wow.
$376. $372. $369. This one, I love getting this for $5. $361. I believe that's first Parasite.
Cool.
That was one of the post-crisis Supermans did a homage cover. It was basically identical to that. Here's $351.
Lex Luthor? Or no?
Here's $347, an 80-page giant. Go checks, square bound.
And it's
got it for $3.
Wow, $3 for that? Oh.
Yep. The only one that was more than $3 was that Parasite one. It's Captain America 180, who becomes the Nomad. There's 181. $185. $186. And finally reacquired Hulk 282, first She-Hulk crossover with the Intelligent Hulk.
Oh.
It went from a $80 book to a $40 book, so it was priced accordingly, so I finally decided why not. But that's it. I could start showing the 200 and something back issues I picked up over the weekend, but I think I'll hold off.
Well, I got some more if you want me. How long you guys want to go tonight?
Just more.
Okay. Just taking some of the stickers off. He puts a lot of stickers on there. That's my only pet peeve. When I go to shop, it's like put the sticker or they put the barcode right in the bottom there. And it's like you go up, and then it's like it won't come off. And I'm like, that looks tacky. Then I'm like, I could just leave it in there. I'm not gonna see it again. I'm gonna put it in there. I'm gonna put it in a box. But I'm like, no, I gotta put it in a brand new bag and all this stuff. So, Plus, you also wonder, are they using like an acid-free bag, or are they using whatever they
But did you drop the bag?
Green.
Oh, that wasn't me.
No. Let me finish.
Now you're just getting nasty.
I liked it better when you were on camera because then he wasn't talking.
Hey, Zach.
Yes.
By the way, one of the gazillion back issues, or 3 or 4 of them, were some of the Miller Fantastic Fours.
Oh, nice.
And I read one, and they were better than they were better. They aged well. I mean, they're.
And you know it.
Plus, it had Brian Hitch on art, so you can't.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong.
All right.
With that.
We're gonna start off with something that I never thought I'd own, but I bought it out. A guy who was desperate to make money, so.
My God.
I know, right? I'm gonna take it to my shop tomorrow and see how much you want to give me for this. So I can get $4.
Good luck.
I know, right?
I'm stunned.
Yeah.
Legion of Superheroes.
Zach, did you read Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths?
I read. I read it.
Yeah, I can't remember if you were around when I said I got the entire series for $350.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I got the entire Fear itself for $350 also.
It's wild. That's
I almost picked this up in my shop. It's a good thing I opened this box up because I was ready to buy it for half off my shop. So
I don't have any of the 3. I have every DC special except for the 3 Musketeers.
Yeah. I was just like, 3 Musketeers, Robin Hood, a DC special? That's got to be written at least decent back then. All right. Then we go into the Mighty Marvels of Western.
Nice.
That's not what he says.
Hey.
There you go. Number 4. All right. And then we got I got a Dark Horse book. The only time I'll ever get a Flaming Carrot book, because I'm just not a fan of that character, but there's a reason why I got it. And Breen, you should remember why. There he is.
Sure, the Flaming Carrot books are better than the Flaming Garrick books.
That's the only reason I got it, because it has freaking Herbie in the book. Otherwise, no chance.
Such a weird reason to buy a comic book. It's Herbie.
Once you find a character you really like, you'll buy books that you hate just to get
That's
that
fair. That's very fair.
Well, I'd say hate. I just it just looks dumb to me. I don't hate the book. That's different. Then there's this must be the 90s. Herbie spaced out. There's no way it's older because look, it's $2.95. But yeah, so dumb. I love it though. All right, now we're gonna some cool stuff. Jay, if you're still there, remember I always tell you I love the Dallas Times Herald stuff. Spider-Man, Firestar, and Iceman.
Boy, that's back in the old Spider-Man and Friends cartoon back in the day.
Spider-Man and his amazing friends at the Dallas Ballet Nutcracker. Yep. The other one going nuts on this cover is going to be Bobby. Then we're going to get into some Millie the Model. The new issue 155. So, these are fun books.
And Jay just pointed out that first Parasite was Action 343, not 361.
Ah.
I should have known that. I don't have 4.
That's okay. You're focusing on Lump. But here is 130 Millie Model.
Nice.
Yep. So they must have changed like within like a couple 20 books, into the new Million model instead of regular blonde show.
Yeah, they somewhere I think in the early 160s, I think they went back to the Archie humor style.
Yeah, but look at I can say look at the difference in these covers. You can tell.
Yeah,
this one is like I love this kind of art. This is like okay, it's Archie.
Yeah, and I said I wish they kept the old style because we had 20 Archie books at the time.
Yeah. Speaking of books that should have kept their same art style, right? Wouldn't you agree with this? With the manly cover, Darkhawk.
That's cool.
Yep. And here is issue 6 of that series. Three against the odds. 50 years of Captain America. It's almost like they're putting like his death. Died in 1991. Don't need to read after that, kids. When was the last? You were reading those when he was a Diamondback. When were those? Was that 90s? Brian?
What's up?
The Diamondback stories with Captain America. Was that the 90s?
Late 80s, I think.
Late 80s. Would you agree that's probably where you could stop with Captain America? Right around there? Late 80s?
It's start or stop.
Well, as far as when did Captain America run hit its peak?
Brubaker.
Well, yeah, but
that was he came back. Yeah, but I'm saying up to that point,
consistently good from the very beginning with Stan and Jack through that the Diamondback era.
Oh shit! You okay there?
Yeah, I'm good.
With apologies to Captain Frugal. And by the time they did Cap Wolf, I think it was pretty much
Cap Wolf was 96, wasn't it?
Like 92 or 3.
Oh,
because they 454 I think was the last issue in 96 before they licensed him out to Image.
I know Kraven's lurking nearby. Where? But where is he? Guess he really is blind. All right, then we go into the Sovereign 7. Look at that. Ron Lim, you got Chris Claremont.
Hey, look, there's Paige in the middle
with actual boobs.
Yeah, but
and she's punching the Punisher.
But the window was closed in those days.
But look at the guy behind her, though.
You know who created Sovereign 7, don't you?
Rob Liefeld?
No, Chris Claremont.
Really?
That was basically when he got unceremoniously thrown off of X-Men. He went to DC and basically tried to recreate him.
So you know what's going up next, right? I just showed that book because I got a bunch of these. That was number 25. Now we're going to number 26.
Hitman. Nice.
Yep.
We picked up a bunch of Hitmans this weekend.
Yep. Here's number 27, I believe. Or 28. How dare an underage kid trying to give a woman that's older candy and stuff, flowers? Oh. That's just so wrong. It's like high school in real life. All right.
Nowadays in high school, you can a young underage kid can.
No, because you'll have somebody narc. You can't because there's always someone who's got a narc on you. No, it's. Die, 7, die. At first I thought I said 57. way they draw that logo. But hey, if I can get more Power Girl, I'll take it. Oh. Yeah, Agent 47. Yeah, that's the Timmy Elephant, movie. It was a game. It was a video game first. So
yeah, he's bald.
Yeah, Hitman.
Yeah. Bunch of Songbird 7. I forgot I got a bunch of these. I don't think I got the whole run. But how many do you remember were there of these? Because these are like 36, 37 I'm looking at.
That's probably
Wow, for that long? Oh, jeez.
Here's 36.
Well, let's see. Sovereign.
I'm guessing 36 is the last issue.
From 94 to 98. Yeah, 36 is the last issue. Yeah.
Wow. So maybe I got the ones I run almost. Number 28 of the X-Men. That's Sabretooth on their cover. Not the Jack Russell you showed me before.
Oh, pipe down.
Can't do that on stream. It's illegal. Can't pipe down. All right. Revelations that they fucked up Psylocke because that was what we used to have.
Yep, back when comics were for boys.
Yep. Look at that. Got some Gambit brooding, and then oh shit, here comes Sabretooth. It's Andy Kubert. Oh, these are Andy Kubert covers. I think he did a bunch in a row. All right, look at the pace here. It's more. Yep. Not a fan of that costume for Cyclops.
I was about to say, Cyclops looks like a football player.
Yeah.
Who was that? A Marvel? Was it a Marvel that had that football comic book for a bit?
NFL Super Bowl. Or talking about the kicker one.
No, it was one that was an actual. It was like Team USA or something like that. It was about a football player that was a superhero. It looks like that costume that he had on right there.
I thought that was NFL Super Pro. I'm not sure. Anyway, here's a book that Pixel hates because it has the word he can't pronounce. Phalanx.
Why can't you say the word phalanx?
Because Zach, you've been gone for about 3 years from the channel. It seems that way under the readings. So we're reading the Dan Abnett run of Guardians of the Galaxy, and he was new to narration, and like he got to the one prison thing, he's like phalanx, and he couldn't pronounce it.
I thought you were gonna say he just got it mixed up with like phalanx or something.
I think that's what he said is phalanx or something like that.
Thanks, Marnie.
Yep. Zach went out for a pack of smokes and a carton of milk, and they never came back. What?
I'd have to smoke for that.
Well, you're probably smoking fish or whatever you guys do on there.
Legion just has the weirdest look.
Well, that's David.
Yeah,
I know. Can you imagine if they would have done that look in the show? With his hair up like that?
So bizarre.
Still a good show, though. Yeah. Legion Quest.
Is that?
Yo.
Is there a University of Louisiana at Lafayette somewhere down there?
I believe there is.
I think that my niece is going to be teaching there this fall.
Oh, neat. That's pretty
Tulane
cool.
is down there, isn't it? Down in
Tulane is. That's closer to New Orleans.
That's right. Then we get to this 4-ish issue miniseries from Marvel Comics back in it's got to be, what year is this? It's got to be early 90s or somewhere in the 90s. This is Dodson on the cover.
Ooh,
That's like 96 or so.
Yeah.
I
was trying to look for a year because usually they put a year in there. They didn't do it. So is the Comics Code Authority, though. on there. What is that? Not on this cover, but it's on the other covers. It shows it. More shiny. Yeah, I see the comic code right. Oh, at the very bottom on the left. It's like, what the hell is it even there for? 2. And more shiny, number 3. And number 4 for the shiny before I die. All right, so I do hit up more. Let me know when you guys want me to stop. How long you guys want to go? Oh, alrighty then. Somebody's away. All right. Alrighty then. We're halfway through the box. I left. So. Pantha. Haunted Passion. Almost kind of looks like I can remember her name was the one who was with Dean Cain.
Terry Hatcher.
A little bit. Look at the face a little bit. I don't know. Here's one that's really cool though. And I guarantee you'll never see another one like this ever again.
Nice.
Looks like it got water damage on it.
Hey,
You gotta leave?
Yeah, it's beginning to get to me a little bit, so I gotta go
Okay.
put it up. So,
All right.
I will see you guys next week.
All right. See you, Jeff.
Okay, later.
Later.
And we got Batman and Zatanna.
Love me some Brave and the Bold.
Yep. We're going to get back to reading some of those on the channel here. Those are watching. If you haven't subscribed now, do so now. We're 5 subscribers away from 1,000. Giant-sized werewolf. 68 pages. All right, now we'll get into the books that Zach has probably have read before. Maybe like he'll be a little more interested. Well, I mean, you haven't really said much. I hear he's clicking on one of your third monitors. So,
Well, I think I picked up JSA Classified 6 through 16 over the weekend.
Yeah. Bedard, McDaniels, and Owens. Is it Tony Bedard?
Yep.
Can't remember.
Save big money at Bedard. Oh, no, that's Menards.
Yes. That's actually the Midwest anthem.
It is.
Put your hand over it. They play that. I saw
my brother-in-law used to do a lot of work with Menards when he worked for P&G. And when I rattled off that little ditty, he was shocked. I don't think he knew, even though he's been here his whole life.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew how pervasive that jingle is.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't changed in 40 years.
It's MENARDS.
Yeah.
We've always said we were to hope that none of those lights, don't burnt out. Menards. Yeah. That's it.
Mennads.
It'd just be MNards or Nards. All right. And then we got DC, all new, number 1. Justice Society Returns.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Jane Robinson. Jane Robinson actually this month, if you look at the Comic Geeks, was answering questions today. Yep, he was focus on creator today for him. All right, some more Spidey action. Spectacular Spider-Man. He's in the Microverse.
One of the Spider-Man titles from that, because all the annuals that year were in the Microverse, all the Spider-Man annuals.
Yeah.
Gil Kane did the art on one of them.
This is Steve something. Englehart, maybe?
No.
Steve Little? Does that sound right?
Lytle, maybe.
Yeah, Lytle. Yeah, the G. Yeah, Lytle. Yeah, that's what it is. It's on the bottom. It says like Steve something. So I'm not gonna be able to focus in, but it's like right here. Yeah, LAHATL. Yeah, Lytle. Yeah. All right, then we have another annual Atlanta part of the Atlanta's Attacks. Guest starring Cloak and Dagger. Yeah, they gave her the haircut, or at least the butch haircut. I don't understand that. It's like she just wanted to be Hillary Clinton. All right, the Uncanny X-Men annual, which you guys have probably seen multiple times.
Yeah, that's a fun story.
It is.
Intergalactic scavenger hunt.
All right. You know, you brought up a fun story. Guess what I just found? The rest of the Legion. That's hard.
Oh my goodness.
I
One
knew
of
it.
these things is not like the other.
I knew I had like the set. I just didn't know where. So
Is that a Bendis one?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2021. The Gold Lantern stands alone. Who the hell's a Gold Lantern? Is that Hal?
Your guess is as good as mine.
No. Hey, look, it's Gotham Girl, right? And Gotham Dude?
No, that's Saturn Girl.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
That was the Tinian run that I avoided.
As you should.
Well, Tinian's run on Batman is right, yeah.
Tom King. Tinian was detective.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Tom King.
Then he followed
They
Tom
took over.
King.
Yeah.
He really didn't do it.
well,
Really didn't make it all that much better.
I was gonna say they're kind of the same, so I was kind of annoyed, but yeah. So I don't know. Is this a connecting cover? No, it's a different cover. But you get the classic. Oh, we're all gonna fight. You want to know there, and you got the guy in the middle, just in the state. He's in a field position. It's like fuck. You know, and then then you get the. This is the last issue. We're gonna do the group shot, and of all the characters we've ruined.
God, Bouncing Boy looks so bad.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure.
They've been saying they're gonna bring back the Legion, and I don't know who the writer is. They've been saying maybe Mark Waid.
Oh, Keith Gibbons dead, so they can't get a good writer.
I don't know. I think you have some writers that could do well.
All right, Batman Beyond Universe #1.
If you're not going to say it's Joe Corallo, I don't care.
You got Higgins, Gage, Salas, and close to Corallo, but it's Coelho. The bottom.
Koala.
Coelho. There's no R. It's the E in there. They put Coelho. But this looks like the cover. I guess that's Nick Gage doing the cover, but it almost looked like a freaking what's his name? Guy Sean Gordon Murphy.
It does look like Sean Gordon Murphy a lot. I think that is Murphy.
Maybe it is.
For the cover, that's definitely Murphy.
It's got to be him. I'm looking to see if if he signed it anywhere. But yeah, you can tell because he always does those freaking weird chins. But alrighty then, we got Wolverine versus Gambit in their training outfits, pajamas. Getting X-Men 277. All right. Then we have Johnny Ketch. Part 2 of the Flaming Terror. Man, that sounds horrible.
Hey.
I know. I was gonna say that kind of sus today a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. Let's see here. Just this stack to go and we're done. Alrighty. Sergeant Fury, Howling Commandos, number 97. Then we got another one, Blazing Battle Action. The Jaws of Death. And then we get into a Mark Waid, Barry Kinson story that they worked on together. And this is the trade. It's called Well, the subtitle is Strange Visitor from Another Century. I'm hoping this is good.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
There's a variant cover of that, like the first issue she's in, and it's worth like $400.
Well, I know. Yeah. Here is the Tony Bedard, Dennis Calero version. And then we have another one, the Dominator War, where she gets in the leather and she gets the whip. Yeah.
Barry Kitson cover there. I don't know if he was doing the interiors or not.
I get him confused with the guy, the comedian who used to yell all the time. The fat guy.
The what?
The fat comedian who does all the times or the K. Isn't it Sam Kinison?
Oh, Sam Kinison.
Yeah, I always get those names confused. Kitson, because like, isn't that the guy? No. It's more Sergeant Fury. All right. A lot of Sergeant Fury. Joe Koala. You know, it actually they might work down south. Or when I say down south, I mean like down under, over by Australia, which technically is south, right? You know, southwest. No, yeah, east. So the other side, it's got to be southwest of us. At least for me, it is. I'm in north. So. Then we get into more Supergirl.
Cool. I love that series.
Yeah. Any of the old stuff, Silver Age stuff, Supergirl I can get is great. I do have the other series where she had the hot pants. I got all that. I bought that a couple years back from him.
She still had the hot pants in this series, too.
Oh, good. That's what we need, kids. More hot pants Supergirl. Hell, I'll even take the headband, you know. This is a good one, too. Part of the Quest probe. Is this one Mysterious Illusion? Or I see two of him. Dear God, imagine that, 2 monologues. Superman family. With Jimmy Olsen. Yes. Lois robs Superman of his powers. Supergirl, Super Serpent. Yep. Jimmy Olsen, Nashville superstar. Why are they running? My signal can't be that bad, says Angleton. Got James Bond.
I almost picked that up yesterday.
How much are they selling it?
Yeah, 50 cents.
Really? I paid $5. Thanks,
I've got there's 3 parts.
Yeah.
The first 2 parts were there, but I thought I'd never find the third part. So then I went and bought actual back issues that weren't in the discount bin.
It's a dinosaur with arms. Well, he's got a right arm. Like, but it's a metal one, yeah. And then we go into, look at this girl, lost at her Krypton. She's crying because she sees Tom King coming her way.
That series didn't do her a whole lot of favors either.
What about this series, Superman Family? The Made of Steel. And I love they had the bomb stuff. It's just like, Perry White as a hobo, Clark Kent as a gangster, Super Baby as a millionaire, Crypto, and 3 amazing guys.
I'm sorry, we never saw Lois wear that outfit in the comics.
Oh my gosh. If she wore this outfit in the comic books, I'd be a believer.
Or how about if Erica Durance had worn that on Smallville?
Oh my God. Well, she did the Aquaman in one episode. And now she did the birthday one. She came out of the cake.
Yeah.
And so there was someone she was but dang. And then we get in this. Another Miss Marvel. 15. There we go. I get some more Nick Fury special.
Reprints issue 13.
Yep. Guest starring an answer to the greatest reader demand in Arrow's history, displaying the thrills and action which made them the overwhelming stars of the Golden Age comics. Told by a young Eric Breen. No.
I used to have the original issue of that.
I was there, man. I saw it all.
No, but
these colors always in the background always threw me off. They look like Easter egg wrappers or like that, or candy wrappers in the back. Just look weird. But and I'm gonna ask you: is this a black man punching another black man?
yes, it is.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. That was the first I thought. That's got to be Rhodey in there. That's going to get some. Because like that, because that'd be kind of racist. If it wasn't. All right, Captain America, Tony Stark, well, yes, and Firebrand, 172. Snap, crackle, pop. What? What's going on in the chat there? Oh, the stripper episode. Yeah, okay. If you've never seen it, you won't know. There were a few episodes of Smallville that I did like. I didn't like overall the series, but the whole thing with Zod would just bored me to tears that season. But it was more of the side guest characters. And the Booster Gold that was on there was pretty cool. Zatanna, oh, cool. Some more Spider-Woman. I think I might have all the Spider-Womans now. Guest starring the Amazing Spider-Man. That's kooky. Now we got Red Sonja. Unfortunately, has a thing missing on the top here, but it's cool. The rest of the book is good. I don't care about the Marvel Comics thing getting thrown out. If I can see the rest of the cover, that's awesome. And then we have a Team America. Fuck yeah. Mind is a terrible thing to waste. Literally, I need the action figures. That's what I need. Captain America motorcycle and stuff. That's what I wanted most of the MCU. I wanted more of Steve Rogers on his motorcycle. We got it, and was it Winter Soldier? I don't think he used a motorcycle after that. So, we're Red Sonja. Some more X-Men. Gambit. He's always great.
So what promo was that?
Pizza Hut.
Ah.
Yeah. I mainly just bought it because they had Rogan and Gambit on the cover. And I'm more excited for that. And then we got some Rocketeer Venture magazine, Comic Book #2, which I might already own in that trade I bought, which collected them. All right, then we got, hey, look, it's Mike Baron and the Badger.
Ah, nice.
Remember when they used to have like evil Asian like villains?
Mm.
Those are the days. Now they're the ones that are running our country. Or were. Supergirl. Black Star rises tonight.
With the great one doing the cover art.
But that's not all that rises tonight, Supergirl. Va va voom. Wow. Those gams. Look at her waist, man. That is a skinny waist. Where are her organs, man? I'll tell you where they are. Under the shield. She's got Power Girl boobs going on there.
Yeah.
And some more Supergirl. Look. It's number 9. With floating heads. I'm just kidding. These are the roll call.
Those are floating heads. Not all floating heads are roll calls, but all roll calls are floating heads.
Judge's ruling?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
I don't agree with it, but I'll allow it because a lot of people do agree with that.
Ready to go.
Because hold that one back up, the one before.
All right.
Okay, I said they're in a column though,
but
so that's kind of iffy.
They're looking at the action though. They're all looking.
Yeah, but
versus where they're all different directions.
We can say they're floating heads. Why not?
Yeah, not. Re-enter reaction. Yeah, so 14, 9, 8. All right, and we got number 7 of Supergirl. Destruct weapons ready. Supergirl breaking in now. Looming hero, or she's on a monitor. She's on the jumbotron.
Yeah.
All right. Another random Punisher War Journal. This interesting damage. Might be a first appearance of a character, but look at the city.
City.
Look at that. I love that the backdrop like that.
That's pretty nice looking.
Yeah. That's always when they really had shots of like New York City in the older movies, the background, the lights on, so it always looks so cool. But I'm like, I also realized it's the 80s. I don't want to be in New York. I would have been there during the early 2000s. Oh, I'd say before 2000s. Whenever Rudy was took over, it's probably the safest place to be another time in New York. So
there's nothing wrong with floating heads, Jay. We just had a little dispute the other night on one of these cover rankings. Not even a dispute.
I mean, if you got a floating head, you might want to flash that till it.
What on earth?
Xenon.
Sir.
That's what's on Earth, sir. You're not cool unless you have this book. You gotta get some Xena books, bro. Xena Warrior Princess from Dark Horse back in the day. Diodato is doing the art on here. Uh-oh. I might have problems.
Nice.
I have never owned a Xena book in my life.
No. It's funny, you had the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but you didn't get Xena. I'm curious if the Xena books are better than if they continue the series or if it's better standalone. But
I'm just not a big fan of like the whole sword and sorcery, sword and sandal, barbarian shit.
No, okay, it's understandable.
And Buffy was, Buffy was a great show. In the first series, felt like it was like the comic book version of that show. They just got way away from it after that.
Yeah.
Now, Zach.
Yes.
This is the quintessential Shazam series.
Damn.
None of your little Shazam family where he's 12 years old nonsense. That's the Shazam.
Especially when you see this next cover. That is awesome.
Who is that? General Immortus?
I don't know.
Who knows? Captain Nazi or something.
Something.
It could be Mace. He jumped books. He decided to fight against someone else. Look at this though. Look at this. You're gonna laugh your ass off. Palpatine's appearance in this book on this cover is amazing. Look on the side of the bus.
Oh yeah, Savannah.
But look at that. That is Palpatine.
Yes, it is. That is a fact.
No. But these covers though, I love that. And I think there's a list of the. I know we talked about it on the auction about 5 years ago. It feels like it's how long it's been, but they don't list the cover artists in here. But I know we talked about it. These are great covers though. Never watched Buffy either, says Roy Kirk. Buffy during the UPN years was a tough watch. The later seasons kind of fell off for me, and that's kind of how I was opposite with Angel. I remember watching Angel. The first 2 seasons are like, oh, it's rough. But as I went on, it got better.
Well, the first 2 seasons of Angel, it was basically like a supernatural detective drama. Yeah. Then they kind of let the subplots kick in for like the last 3 seasons.
You started getting some of the humor and stuff.
I liked it all.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. Well, it sucks because that one actor, guy who played Lauren, the demon guy.
Yeah.
Didn't he die during the show?
No, the guy, Quinn died.
Quinn, yeah, okay, yeah. In the first,
the guy
from
Roseanne died after the first season.
Yeah. It's weird you bring up Roseanne. I just watched the episode where Dan beats up the guy who beat up Roseanne's sister. I forgot what his name was, and he ends up going away in handcuffs because because he beat up the guy. After she came over and she was like, she got hit.
Yeah, just I refuse to watch the Connors because that none of them stood up for Roseanne. None of them would have careers without her.
I watched
the first a Roseanne episode.
Well, yeah, I watched Connors.
I thought you were talking about a Connors episode.
No. I saw the older episode in the 90s.
Okay. Yeah,
yeah. But I did watch the Connors though, only the beginning when Roseanne was on there. As soon as they kicked her off, I dropped that series.
It's just like I didn't really care for the Flash anymore after nobody had the guy that played Elongated's man's back.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but I don't blame you. I mean, it's crap what they did to him.
Well, luckily we're not that bad anymore. But remember how little you had to do to get canceled by the left about 6 years ago?
All right, final book of the evening.
I can't see him. He's a phantom.
Well, no. I'm sorry. John Cena's not on this.
Look, there's Dick Van Dyke on the boat.
I know, right? And I guess that's Marianne.
That's
that's not Dick Van Dyke.
That's Diane.
Yeah.
Diane Belmont, I think, is her name. That's Phantom's
from the show.
girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
That really is Dick Van Dyke, though.
I know, right? It's Dick Van Dyke, and then the girl kind of reminds of a little bit of Mary Tyler Moore back in the day.
It's funny that I was watching something that was done in 1969, and Dick Van Dyke was in it playing an old man, and he was bald, just had like the little side hairs, because they just figured, by the time he got old, that's how he'd look. Here he is, 99 years old with a full head of hair.
I know, right? Isn't that funny? Yeah, I never understood that when I saw that. I was like, when characters play the way they put in the old makeup and stuff, trying to pretend to be old, and then when you see them old and how somehow they look better.
Yeah, Queen, they dug up tweets from like a decade prior, and the fact that nobody in the cast spoke out to defend him, I just thought was weak.
Yeah, I don't know if he dropped the N-word or something like that, but it was something he tweeted like 10 or 12 years before.
I would say
a long time ago.
Yeah.
I would say it was like, not making air quotes, homophobic.
I can't remember what it was. I just remember it was something that, they don't like about it.
He probably didn't say, gosh, I wish I were gay. It's so much better than being straight.
Wasn't there another character that was accused? I mean, like, my thing is saying, people are going and look up to see what you said 12 or 13 years ago because they don't like you for whatever reason, and they try to cancel you. That's beyond petty. Like, you may have said something like, I like the color blue, and now everybody on the show is like, oh, you like the color blue? We all hate color blue, and it's some stupid stuff, people make mistakes, and it sucks because some people are not allowed to have second chances by people. I don't know. My thing is, I don't care what you said. And my thing is, just do your part on the show, and that's about it.
Well, my problem is this guy gets fired for 10-year-old tweets.
Yeah.
When there were other cast members of other shows that didn't miss a taping after like beating the hell out of their girlfriend or something. Well, because we had gotten to the point where words were violence and violence was acceptable.
Well, look at WWE. WWE is really sensitive about that. The only reason Enzo got fired because, he lied about it. But it turns out he was accused of something he didn't do by this girl, and he came out innocent. but they still wouldn't rehire him. So, they're like I said, it's once you're burned in Hollywood, you're burned, even for the stupidest things. I used to work with a guy who was a child actor that was in Black Beauty. He was the 12-year-old boy in that movie, Kelly Reno.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the reason he was out of Hollywood because he got involved in an accident. An 18-wheeler struck his car. Truck he was in. And he was in the hospital for a couple of weeks. And then after that, the calls stopped. Nobody wanted to hire him or anything. So ironically, what did he end up doing? Driving 18-wheelers, doing delivery stuff. Yeah, so it was kind of funny because everybody at the when I was working at Lowe's, it was like Kelly Reno. Like I've heard the name. It's like, and you look it up. It's like holy shit, because he didn't he didn't go around bragging and stuff. But he said his wife has a freaking website. He's like, I fucking hate the website. It's like I was in Hollywood for about a week or two for the movie.
Let me ask you MK's last question. Yeah, he wrestled for about 8 to 10 years, maybe, give or take. He was in WWE first as Brodus Clay, and it was a punishment gimmick because he pissed Vince off, but it went over, and Vince didn't like that.
Yeah.
So eventually he kind of sabotaged his character. Then he went to NWA and became Tyrus.
Did you see that clip or hear about that when Vince wanted Stone Cold Steve Austin to just randomly lose to Brock Lesnar to put him over? And it was like, and Stone Cold said, "It's like, what the fuck? I finally made it to the top, and you want me to lay down for this guy?" And he said, "There's no build up to it. It's just a out of the blue match, And so Stone Cold just went home. he said, "I went fuck that. I went home. I left." And Vince was beyond pissed. But guess what? Guess we got to keep his job, Stone Cold. So yeah, I think Steve Austin is the only one who could really get away with that shit back in the day with Vince.
I watched a video today about WWE wrestlers
Jackson
that pissed Vince off because they got over organically, so Vince wouldn't push them.
Yep, isn't that petty?
No, he's more petty than Tom.
That's the stuff I don't like about Vince. Like, aside from all the accusations that came out, about what was the end of last year or middle of last year, whatever. It was all the little stories about him just being petty about he liked having certain people, he liked having the big wrestlers and stuff, but then he didn't know what to do with them, and then it just got like the big Great Khali.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do much. He was just being there because he was huge, that's it.
Yeah. He was one of the ones that I watched another video for like 10 guys that Vince wanted to push to the moon, but just didn't have it. And Khali was on that video.
Yep.
There were some names I hadn't heard for a while. Remember Mason Ryan?
Mason Ryan?
Yeah, it looked like he was chiseled out of granite, but the problem was he moved like granite.
You probably said Mason. The first thing I thought, I'm like, oh, Maven.
No.
That guy's still holding a grudge.
Yeah.
Guys, I hate to be that guy, but
don't be that guy then.
Yeah, we should probably wrap.
I'm getting kind of drowsy here, and I don't want to fall asleep drooling in front of my computer.
All right.
Here's the thing: your camera's off, so we wouldn't know.
I know, but I don't want to have to clean up all the drool for my computer.
That's okay. Zach, to stay then. Who cares? Well, fine.
No, Zach,
just stay there. I'll still stay there. I'll push a button. I like to beat the camera behind you, and we'll just watch.
And I think we can pretty much. We can call it
time of death. Alrighty though. Did we get any more subs at all? I'm curious. We are still at 995 subscribers, but I do appreciate all the new faces that are popping up. Queen Glamazona, I don't see it often, but you start to see it a little more here. It's great to see you here. like I said, if you guys disagree with us, we're not gonna harass you. I mean, we razz a bunch of the people.
Zach, I've seen this. It goes for a while.
Yes, Zach, for 40 minutes. I just want to explain this. We do razz people in the audience because, well, they've been here for a while. We kind
the
of
audience.
No, we do.
On me every time I bring up a Ryan North book.
No, so I just want to.
That's not the only thing we razz you for.
No, we don't. We actually stopped that. Even Black is trying to continue the joke, but no. Like you said, I like having new people on here and just people coming back. It's Rhaegar and I don't agree on everything, but I respect Rhaegar.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
But Jackson, we're always great when he's leaving. So, but yeah, thank you. Shout out to everybody.
The sky opens up and the sun comes out.
Yeah, when Jackson shows up,
nobody leaves.
Oh, when he leaves, the story. 40 days or 40 nights of Jackson. But thank you for being here. We had Geekeasy left earlier. Marania, thank you for being here. Jackson already left. Who else we got in here? Jay Lucian, Cheeseburger and Comics. Let's see here. Scroll down. Dungeon Crawler, Carl. Say that 3 times fast. Dungeon Crawler, Carl.
3 times fast.
3 times fast.
Say Crawler, Carl. Dungeon Crawler, Carl. Like I said, that's hard to pronounce. Then hello to, and then thank you to, I guess that would bring us to. Oh, there wasn't any many people in here. Imperial Goddess did pop up earlier. She is
playing a game or something. Right now.
She's still. I think she was still live, but she did. She's a video gamer. She streams on Twitch, but she's also on YouTube. But the same thing underscore Goddess. Check her out. For all the people, actually, if you guys go to our homepage, I do have at the top. It shows all the people I recommend to go check out. Those are really cool people. Dr. Silverage, and all them. Geeky Pop. But thanks to Rhaegar. Thanks to. Wow, there's a lot of the same people just talking. 3 people. MKF30, thanks for showing up. And Queen Glamazona, always a pleasure to see you here. And I think that's about it. Those are watching the replay. If you made it this far, I'm shocked. Everybody watches the replay. If you do, leave a comment down below, so I actually know you actually watch all the way through here, on the replay. So, all right. As always, click like, stay here for another 40 minutes to piss off Brain, and leave a comment down below. And check out the Ko-Fi link if you want to. We'll see you guys tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern for another reading. We got 2 of them. And I think that's about it. Rhaegar says, I've been playing a game the whole entire time. Which one? You were playing a game? You playing Marvel Rivals? I know he's doing that the other night, too.
That's a good one.
Oh, Hank Vickman, that guy from Pittsburgh will live the guy who feel, but he's banged up. Oh, the guy who fell at the game. Did that look nasty? He's
a football player, so that probably helped survive a fall from that height.
I don't know if he fell on his head or neck or his upper back, but that looked horrible because he went. Ooh.
Well, I don't think he fell on his head because he is moving.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I imagine if he did, though. Oof. Still, that was about 20-foot drop.
Yeah.
Still cage. Yeah.
Well, that's Gorilla Monsoon math. It's not quite as much as he says.
I know. Mick Foley off the steel cage. 20 feet in the air. Oh my god. All right. Later, guys.
Later, everybody.